want to upgrade my laptop.
Little did he know of the monumental task in front of him.
How's it going, everyone? My name is GreatMate Nate, and at this video's rant, we're going to be talking about how I disassembled my laptop in preparation for trying to create my own tablet. Now, before the video begins, I just want to say that while this isn't definitely the most prestigious setup, it's way worse behind the scenes. So, I'm going to cut to some hopefully well-taken B-roll of me showing you what I have. Usually, this is my normal setup, which I'm pointing to over here. I've got dual monitors. Both are 1980 by 1080, and while it's not the greatest, it's definitely really good. And then you're seeing what I'm seeing here. The microphone in which you're hearing this recording on is mounted to the side and is held in by nothing but gravity, as well as we have a monitor here that doesn't do anything as of now. And we have my Loop presentation desk here. So that's what I'm going with right now. And then, of course, I've got my phone shooting 1080p 60 FPS on a little tripod on top of an old TV that's pointed in the direction of where this is. And it's also pushed away from this wall here, the entertainment system, just so it could be a little bit more centered. Yeah, it's pretty janky. And speaking of janky, this video is brought to you in collaboration with Janky DIY, the perfect Discord if you're looking for somewhere to explore, learn, and share your amazing projects of DIY, whether it's computer programming, building your own device like I am currently, or anything that is related to doing it yourself. Check out Janky DIY in the description below. But nevertheless, let's continue to the actual video. So, down here in this little cubby, I have the disassembled laptop. Yeah. Alright, let's start from the beginning. 2015. I believe 10-year-old me is starting to get into YouTube. Watching YouTubers like Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, not really PewDiePie, I wasn't a PewDiePie fan. But I wanted to do it myself, obviously. So we went down to our local Office Depot and, well, shopped around for a laptop. I knew nothing about computers, as the average 10-year-old would, so I got a pretty decent one. In fact, when I disassembled this thing, I was utterly surprised by what was inside of it. So first of all, this is a generic Toshiba laptop with my beautiful Hackintosh logo on there. No, this does not run macOS. Dear God, I'm trying to do productivity. Jeez, think of that. But I do have to get credit to Toshiba. This thing is held in by no adhesive whatsoever. It is all screws. Every single component was super easy to disassemble. And of course, everyone's heard the horror stories of like MacBooks and stuff being incredibly hard to disassemble. So, Toshiba, thank you for creating, at least your older laptops, really easy to repair. So, I took it apart with just unscrewing a few screws, as you can see here. And there was a few pieces of tape and stuff that held in the wires. And I'd say the hardest part was prying it open, because it was held in with a couple plastic clips that I did have to snap. But I'm not planning on putting this back together anytime soon. And the absolute hardest part was getting the antenna wires from out of the monitor section. They were really jammed in there, and it wasn't held in with screws. It was held in with like internal clips, and there was no way to easily pry it open. So that was very scary, and it took a lot of precision manhandling to pry open, but in the end I did get all the components. So that's all the junk that we don't care about, but here is the star of the show. Trying not to break anything, obviously. This here is the motherboard with all of its components, almost all of its components. Here we have an AMD APU, which, I mean, if I'm not lazy, I'll probably put the specs and the model, all the technical details up on screen. With the cooling apparatus, we got a copper bar to the cooler fan here. And keep in mind that this is 2015, and I believe we bought this for $299, $300. It has a USB 3.0, dual sticks of 4 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM, and then again, what I just mentioned, an APU, which, if you don't know, it's a CPU combined with a GPU in one chip. And as you can see, it's obviously, well, not a very good GPU, because look how small it is. But nonetheless, it is one, and it's a laptop. So I wasn't playing very good games on here, but I got decent mobility out of this thing. It really allowed me to flourish in my early days of YouTube. But you're not here for my weepy backstory. You're here on how I'm trying to build a tablet with the internals of a laptop. So originally this project started out as two separate ones. I wanted to disassemble this, give it a slight upgrade from a hard disk drive to an SSD to make it a bit snappier, because load times are about 5 seconds on this thing. It's not great. 2015, as I mentioned. So I wanted to make a custom home theater PC out of that, as it does have a SATA port for a DVD player. And oh yeah, it's under the pile, you know, B-roll, hopefully. I have some DVD drives for a home theater PC. I have a Blu-ray DVD combo drive, so that's really awesome. And then I had a separate project where I just wanted to make a Windows 10 tablet for media consumption on the lowest budget I could. Just run, you know, not even HD videos, just run YouTube videos, Netflix, and the most basic media consumption, you know, web applications, stuff you could do. And both of those were equally challenging. The home theater PC, while it was definitely less challenging, you had to buy the correct components to upgrade it, which, you know, I've got about as much money on me currently as North Korea has in their economy. And I had to create a case for it, which I was originally thinking a 3D printer, but this thing's quite large and I don't have one with me. So I decided wood, but of course that comes with a whole nother challenges, and measuring, buying the wood, cutting it, gluing it together, spray painting it if you don't want it to look like absolute trash. It was quite a bit. So I decided, you know, I've got two super challenging projects that would both take a very long time to complete. Why don't I combine them into one giant super long project that will probably never be completed? My genius is frightening. So that's what we're doing. Why? So, well, there was a number of obvious problems I had to sort out. This laptop was not a touchscreen. It has, if I can pull it out of this heap here, this is the screen that I took off of the laptop. It's wonderful. This is an amazing screen, super thin. Like, look how narrow the bezels are, and it's made by LG. No surprise there, but it's so good, and I feel so bad to not use it because it's in pristine condition. And I'll probably make another video where I turn this into, you know, a custom secondary monitor, because it's amazing, and there's no reason I should get rid of it. That would be such a waste, and you just pollute up the environment. But I need a touchscreen because it's a tablet. The slot on the motherboard, I don't know the name of it. You know, B-roll. Hopefully someone can point that out for me. Apparently, the people over at Janky DIY helped me figure out that no, it is not touchscreen compatible. So that's quite a big problem. So The owner of the server himself, Jay, recommended that I just get a mobile touchscreen monitor, which it's powered by USB and it connects into an HDMI slot. As this, again, 2015, this laptop has a VGA out and an HDMI out, which is awesome. But then I don't know if the screen can be properly powered by USB. If not, then it needs another internal power bank, not just the one that it has. And then there's a whole other, it gets super complicated. And that's just one of the problems. It also needs a custom power button, as they went all out in here, and the laptop has an LED and regular power button, so it has 4 wires. And I don't have a voltmeter. I cannot figure out which is the actual power button and which is the LED. So I can't, just snip it and connect a little momentary push button to it. No, I have to go through a much more complicated process. Probably going to take the power button off of the actual laptop, put it. You can see how this is quite the ambitious project, especially for someone like me who is quite inexperienced in these things. And that's why this is probably the first video in maybe a 3-part series where I'm going to be doing this all by myself. Except, I have the people down at Jakey DIY. If you need help with any of your projects or just want to talk to me about mine, make sure to check them out in the description below. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see me complete it and document it all the way through on YouTube, it would really help if you subscribed, liked, or shared this video. Either one of them is okay, and all of them, well, that's highly exceptional. Alright, thank you for watching, and of course, I'll see you next time.